All right, let's talk about D, 88D Pro. This is the third gen, like I said, and basically what is new about this is there's a few main things. One is both the 88S and the 88D get very radical and unique frame designs, especially around the head area. Okay, so the 88S is a bit more aerodynamic. As you can see, it's the same width all across the frame, and it's more about enhancing the sweet spot and just being able to play consistent shots despite not being perfectly in the sweet spot. So more off-center shots, right? The 88D Pro has varying thicknesses along the frame. It's thicker near the bottom and the sides to kind of give it more weight and stability during powerful smashes to help the face not deform as much, that kind of thing. Yan! Also, another thing that both the 88S and the 88D share is a new grommet on the top of the head. We've seen this in the power assist bumper. We've seen this in the speed assist bumper, which is a slightly different bumper, right? But we're seeing Yones kind of lean towards these weighted grommets more and more lately, and I think it's just a new trend of being able to adjust the string characteristics to better individualize each racket. So the ones for the 88S and 88D are quite simple. They're just weighted, so they add a little bit more headweight at the top just for a little bit more power, okay? And then the third main difference between the second gen and third gen is, of course, the inclusion of the second gen ND Flex Force. So without getting all sciencey with you guys, basically in my experience, it feels just like a 100ZZ's solid core. So you're getting a new level of flex while retaining the stiffness. If you guys have ever used an Astrox racket, you guys know and understand that the ND in that Astrox series, even the first gen, is quite good and giving you kind of like both control and power at the same time. It's really hard to explain unless you've actually used it. Well, the second gen kind of takes this a new step forward. The second gen Flex Force, I'm just going to call it that, really does give you a level of stiffness when you need it, but then when you're trying to hit down those powerful smashes, it really does flex without really sacrificing any control. So this is where I guess the review kind of splits off and we kind of talk a bit more about the 88D in general. So the 88D is very heavy now, very stiff, very heavy. Compared to the second gen, if I have one, let's pretend this is an 88D Pro. This is an 88D Play, but they basically look the same. So compared to the 88D Pro, this is quite a bit heavier in the head. It's quite a bit stiffer as well. So what that means is it's going to be a bit harder to use, but the power you get out of this is so much better, guys. The smashes I was getting on day one were just ridiculous. After you get used to the timing, because of course I'm using a 1000Z, the smashes sound great. I hadn't been able to play smashes that heavy in a long time. And this, of course, the headweight also transfers into the drives, into the interceptions, into the front net kills as well, assuming you're in proper technique and assuming you have the physical capabilities to actually use this. I will tell you right now, after testing this pretty extensively over the last 2-3 days, I guess maybe 3 to 4 hours of court time, my fingers are so sore. Not my forearm, my actual tendons in my fingers are sore from trying to use pitik, from trying to use the drive, trying to use that finger power when it comes to the drives, when it comes to the kills, right? It's just so much more physically demanding than the 1000Z is with its speed assist bumper for repulsion and with its headlight nature. So for me, as a front player, the head heaviness was really something that I could not get over with. Like, I'm again used to the 1000Z, but even when I was using the 88S, the first gen, because that was my first racket, this is just another level of head heaviness. Maybe, given more time, I could adjust to it. I probably could, but now I'm just so used to like 1000Z's headlight nature and the repulsion. Like the amount of times where if I had been using my 1000Z, the shot would have been better quality, or the shot would have made the connection, or I would have intercepted it correctly. Putang inang bigat! Ah! The amount of times that didn't happen because I was using something heavier and something stiffer just was a lot, actually. That might not be necessarily a con for this specific racket. It might just be me struggling to adopt, but it's something to take account of. Also noticed that, I guess, mid-court control was quite good. Again, the lack of repulsion compared to the 1000Z definitely played a factor. I definitely had to hit a little bit harder to get as precise of mid-court control shots as I wanted, but it was definitely there. It definitely was a bit better than the second gen. For drops, of course, the head weight was welcome. It's very easy to play good drops when you have head weight because you can really feel the racket in the air. So you can just kind of like place it and then just give it a little tap, and it should go where you want it to go. So all in all, this is definitely an upgrade, with a very big caveat. So compared to the second gen, I know a lot of you guys are probably going to ask, is it worth the upgrade? I think for me, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for quick, easy, accessible power, stick with the second gen. The 88D second gen is definitely a lot more manageable in the head. It's definitely a bit swifter because there is less head weight, and it's still quite powerful, right? If you're looking for like basically the ultimate smashing machine, this is probably it. This outsmashes the 100ZZ. This outsmashes the 99 Pro. It blows the 88D second gen and first gen out of the water. With that being said, right, the reason it's able to achieve that kind of power is because it is that heavy, it is that stiff, right? So you really need to like ask yourself, are you physically capable, are you technically capable of actually using this day in and day out? Because I'm not, right? So take that in mind. So what is my verdict? So my verdict is, I think for doubles, this is way too heavy. I actually think this is more of a really good singles racket, actually. The second gen NMAD Flex Force gives you really good half smashes. It gives you really good solid smashes, right? The head weight gives you a very solid feel. The frame design gives me a lot of assurance playing net shots, even from really low, playing drop shots from the back. And because it's singles, it's not as fast-paced. The disadvantages that come with the head heaviness aren't really as present. You're not really driving that much in doubles. Singles. So for me, like I actually preferred this a lot more when I was playing singles. For doubles, especially when I was playing like people better than me or people the same level, I was yearning for my 1000Z. Just because it's so much easier to use, it's faster. It helped me compensate for being slightly late, or if I'm playing better people, it helped me match their shot quality a little bit better. This, especially when you're under pressure, it's just really hard to use. It's quite difficult in defense, right? So that's really the verdict. Basically, it's very heavy, it's very stiff. Can you actually use it? I guess another way of saying it is kind of like a Voltrek ZF2 reimagined, because it's very head heavy. It's got a great shaft. It's very quick despite its head heaviness, but the shaft has kind of been replaced with like 100ZZ's solid core. So it's kind of taken the best of both worlds there and kind of giving you a new racket. So now that I've said about why it's not for me, who is this for, right? This is for someone that is physically strong, that really just cares about hitting as hard as they can, right? That wants a solid hitting feel, that really doesn't care much about the front, that really just wants to, if they lift, they just want to put the ball down on the ground. This is the racket. This really is, guys. This is really good at smashing and okay to decent at everything else. Yeah, that's really the review. Again, shout out to follower Dustin, who bought this from me. I passed by it in Hong Kong, and he allowed me to review this before shipping it off to him, so this review was not possible without him. So guys, thank you again. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the 88 Pro. It is quite new on the market, so probably isn't that many reviews, not that many people in the Philippines still using this, but I am excited to hear what you guys think. Does this review influence what you guys decide on? Will you, current second gen users, will you be upgrading to the third gen based on what I said or not? So again, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching as always. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.